chamber. This is bad. Paimon's supposed to be your guide, but Paimon doesn't know where the way up to the Jade Chamber is. Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, heading to its location on the map is the sensible thing to do. Let's look around. Since this is the right place, it must have something to do with the Jade Chamber. Yes, this must be... takes us up to here. Aw, if that wind current was stronger, we'd be able to reach... Huh? Why? Or... Oh, Paimon gets... Alright, let's follow... Oh, hang on. Looks like we've gotten close to the Guizhong Ballista. Why don't we shoot you up to the Jade Chamber using the ballista? No. Paimon may have just forgotten to think about the safety measures. Oh, that's... Now that you mention it, we could use the Guizhong Ballista to see if there's another way up nearby.
Halt! Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
Exactly. What are you talking? We're invited guests. What makes... No. Wait. She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but... No, but...
What? We're just on guard duty. What do you mean, shameless?
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
Well, here they come.
Brace yourselves!
Yeah! I'll protect us! Go, Barbara, go!
target alive!
Beaten.
Who goes there? Attack!
How rude!
Take the target alive!
Yeah! Would a gliding be fast?
Take this!
Insubordinate!
Bested!
Stop! What's all this about?
Lady Keqing, these two
Who are you calling strange?
You want to go to the Jade Chamber?
We're invited guests, here to look for the Liyue.
Well, as it happens,
Oh,
I'm Keqing, the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Didn't expect...
wow. Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big
The Guizhong Ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair. And yet, it was fixed in a single night. These Millelith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
So this was all a misunderstanding?
Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an Adepti mechanism is quite the mystery, even to the Qixing.
That was... Eh? Oh, right. So, Lady Yuheng, might you have any idea why Lady Tian...
Just call me Keqing. I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance. Or at least, to not wholly side with the Adepti.
We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to protect Liyue as what...
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you?
Huh?
You are mortals, and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god. Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin. I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us.
Well, you've got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepta.
Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Qixing? Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it. Either way, I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them. Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? I'll stop here. Honestly, you should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber is the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with Ningguang.
Favor? But... Wait, that's right! Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's
Alright. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to... You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Well then. May we meet again, traveler.
Well, that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person. So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her? Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night! Sugar-frosted slime! Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for us. Why don't we go with that for a gift? Nope! But Paimon sure... Let's go gather ingredients! Time... Look at that slime! It looks crystal clear! And very delicious! That's the one! Let's play! Let's play!
My flame has been extinguished. In the air. Huh? Did you hear that? It seemed like it came from those ruins. Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure...
Think you can get away?
Brace yourself.
Done.
Thank you for your help, kind.
Aw, it was nothing.
I understand. Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because I'm Meng Dan, a supplier. I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks.
Wait a moment. Actually,
Oh? And what?
do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one. The kind that you can use to store snacks.
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing Jewelry, we have the best gift wrapping service in the 7 nations. Now just give me a moment and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
Great! Paimon Sugar Frosted Slime now comes in a beautiful package.
Here we go. Yeah. 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 Wouldn't gliding be faster?
New stock at Secret.
Hey there! A guy called Meng Dan told us that
Uncle Meng already told me about it. Thank you. Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Meng. If anything were to happen to him, it would be impossible for us to continue doing business. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of history.
Yep. Hang on a moment. Could we borrow one other thing?
Sure, please help yourself.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome. If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be able to make a great snack. It's done! The one and only sugar-frosted slime! Carefully now. Into the box it goes and dust it over with a bit more powdered sugar.
Oh, yes. You might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations, too.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful! Great! Now that we've put all that we've got into this box, let's go to the jade... to Kuching. This is... Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes.
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guests, but for the Yuheng. What's going on here?
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Jueyun Karst.
It's Ningguang! Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks.
Oh no, it's nothing.
I'm glad you like it too. This palace floats in the skies, higher than the I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations. Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, who spoke. As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way.
Wait! Was Vergoldet one?
Just Vergoldet? Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours. At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from...
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting. Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstandings. I believe that you've heard of the Archon War. Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Teyvat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7. You can see Guiyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue, but the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before. Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects, Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? Of lacking the... That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there, you no doubt saw. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvia was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy?
What do you think, Traveler?
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered.
Huh?
The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete. So please, this way.
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
Be at ease, you two. Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over...
Ooh! Isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall.
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, Traveler? You're rather special, really, and I think you're quite aware. If possible, I'd like... But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Keqing... I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed, but after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future it... Well, I must say that quite a few of... I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But, for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our usurpation of power. Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very beginning. I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation, and also to prevent something similar to the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, one responsible for Liyue, I cannot be too concerned with appearances when opposing them. Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Qixing only provided the venue for the rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one?
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return.
Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently.
Yay! Paimon was... One of the sheets on that wall. Don't Don't look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail. Just imagine how much more a whole untorn sheet would sell for. Let's grab one, the biggest one. Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with la 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 la. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Aw, that doesn't sound like... This piece of paper shows that a Qixing spy discovered traces of classified Fatui research on the sigil of permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to... But research on the sigil of permission? Paimon one... Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the sigil of permission. Seems there's still more for... Oh, you... Well, should we not go then? Oh, so you're saying that it's precise... Anyway, before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are...
Lady Ningguang looks stunning today. Location written down on this piece of paper. And they look really mad at us, too.
Flash Frost! Let's end this quickly! Time for Retribution!
Brace yourself. Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Poison, stay right. Yes, this is it. Who's this? This is trouble.
Yahoo! By royal decree.
Finally, so quiet.
Oz, reveal thyself. Yahoo!
Not breaking a sweat.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Can this be? My duty at an end.
Go, Barbara, go! There are so many talismans here. And some Paimon's seen this pattern before. Oh, Paimon! But how did a relic of the... Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the Sigil of Permission, it wasn't... Talismans like that were once used. Maybe the Fatui are copying the Sigil of Permission in hope being able to channel divine power in battle? And the plot thickens. We'll need to keep an eye on Child, that's for sure. Alright, that's enough sticking around here. We gotta... The last stop on our rite of parting preparations to... Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago. Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
It was so big and pretty and...
Indeed. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust? What did you talk...
She's super rich and so generous. Yeah, his take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. He thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy than her.
Oh. So you also met with Keqing, then?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed.
No respect for the divine. Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart. Though they are both... Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions. Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
The Jade Chamber is only second.
Why, Mora, of course.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui...
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least. No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be on your guard.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting and...
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is.
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
No. Those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to human song. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were wiped out. Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of everlasting incense. But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers. No, I need you to sing to them. Singing to the flowers will make...
So how good is your singing? Really?
We'll only know once he starts...
Whenever you're ready.
Da 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 da.
What happened? These flowers are jumping. They look really angry. Is it because you sang a song for Mondstadt that they don't understand Canalier?
Think you can get away?
Burn!
weren't glaze lilies.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we can of these petals.
Well, that's nice and all.
Unfortunately, no.
That's so late.
Excuse me. Are you searching for glaze lily?
Oh, hey, it's... What's her face?
Hello, traveler. That reminds me.
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
Nope, we found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did.
Something seems a little up. She's acting different from the first time we met.
Oh, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now I am...
You came all the way out here to see...
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's quite all right. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. He is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 30...
So what do you think of this?
Huh? As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue, but as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality.
Huh? Did you just say, as an Adeptus?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Qilin. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War. After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day. Well, let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here looking for glaze lilies? I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See...
We dare not refuse.
Oh, so did you sing a song before?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your...
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord. If you would excuse me.
And that just about does it. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks.
Yeah, Paimon can already...
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself.
Wow. See? Zhongli sounds like he's already seen it all. Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue Harbor now.
Ah, you're the consultant to The Millelith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times.
Desperate time?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the...
Do they intend to exercise?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. However, both sides were quite obstinate.
It seems inevitable.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor...
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to get...
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the
That's all Ningguang. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millelith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or neither path is it?
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng funeral parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities.
Things are taking a turn. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the fuse first.
So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse? Oh, Paimon he must be waiting. But where would he go at a time like this?
What should I try this time?
Wow! This is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even... This is where all of Teyvat's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! But even if we can't take any, or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora, it's like a dream come true! Oh, right! Back to it's quiet. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would... Stopping the Mora mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Qixing are really pulling out all the stuff.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the...
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and the battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble.
You could... When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a Harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt...
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. Fighting talk, I love it! This chance is hard to come by. So show me all you've got! So very few ever get the chance to square off with the Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. Cowering already? How unbecoming.
Where did I go wrong?
Poor timing. A fine opportunity.
Odds revealed by
What all you like?
No rest for the...
Clear shot. Not bad, not bad.
Let's play! Brace yourselves!
unbecoming.
Celestial Voyager!
A fine opportunity! So quick to flee.
By royal decree,
You're wide open.
let the show begin! Yeah!
You've made some progress. Not bad. You've got a trick or two. Haha, good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger. All you do is run. Got you.
Think you can get away?
Something else catch your eye?
I'll crush you!
You've got some skills.
I'll protect us! Yeah! Let's go, Let's go!
No use hiding back there. My turn.
Brace it! Yahoo! Wouldn't gliding be faster?
You've got some skills. This.
Let this. Ready, steady, go!
Great! I'll crush you!
Something else catch your eye?
Here we go!
Got you.
How rude!
Retribution!
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected! Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now! I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
going to cost you! You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it!
Let's dance!
Retribution!
I'll protect us!
Die!
Brace yourself! Let's play! Yahoo! Time for takeoff.
Retribution!
Die here.
I'll protect us! I feel a little weak. Yahoo!
seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying.
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eye. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, this battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this. I absolutely detest working with those who are weaker than I. The truth is, the world belongs to those of us who desire to become strong. I seldom willingly mingle with any dull and boring weaklings who think otherwise. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyan's stone fort.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How could an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seth?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are Sid... Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing. Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on? to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House. Did we make it in time? Is the...
What are you...
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the...
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to... Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy, even from all the way out here.
It's not just you. We've got new Millelith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary. So will the power of the Chising, Millelith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessarily.
What? Wait, all of you...
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wild...
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be... So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Yep.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millelith, with me!
Let's go up too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
My duty at an end.
Think you can get away? Yahoo! Brace yourselves. On, reveal that.
Can't run! Well, went too far.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
Shni's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Shadow Raven, let that fall! Here we go!
Nothing but a sweat!
Starts attacking again! There are so many between you! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is Depto energy. That light from your body. It's like the time of Julian Curse. Whoa! It's Madame Ping's shockwave. This grid is really strong.
Yahoo! Time for takeoff.
Looks like I went too far.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
The basic was gun is taking a fight.
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast.
Body and spirit, that perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Blink!
Retribution!
Let's play! Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Be a killjoy!
Exercise caution! I fear that the god's power has reached its peak!
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Shine away with me.
Let's end this quickly!
Let's play!
This isn't good.
Get me amuse myself. Think you can get away? Here!
We'll break it! Or my work finished.
Think you can get away?
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten—
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here to—
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could—
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Ark. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity, as Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just—
Weren't you frightened, dear?
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Oh.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons. Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall. And
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god, but we were able to handle the overlord of the... Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the... Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that
we've come to see Zhongli.
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went...
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the... Last time we saw Zhongli was... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? We had better go and make sure...
The key here is consumer psychology.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers?
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? Oh, it seems that some...
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child.
It's you two. I believe we... Ah, right. I imagine that it must...
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map.
Paimon...
Oh, now don't say that. Sure. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little... Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. The real deceivers here are Signora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to... You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so...
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the... No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but what?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Liyue goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over.
Wait!
Perhaps it's best, as you know. I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not been until one drizzly day. I stood
Oh, Zhongli!
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter? So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine...
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him to. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. Why, you even deserved an encore. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount of restraint. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even tried to understand the heart of the people. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract, Signora. She managed to keep everything she knew in strict confidence, far from the eavesdropping ears of her colleague Child, just as I had requested. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for... These things were all a part of my script. The only unforeseen plot twist was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that...
Hey, what about me?
I think that thanks would be more appropriate if you hadn't created the pressure of a battle.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Well then...
Fine.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right!
Realistically speaking.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself.
Paimon can't absorb... So, Zhongli, what sort of contract did you sign with the...
One of the clauses of our contract.
You're so petty. Paimon... So...
One of the...
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we've spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going... there's only one real possibility in my...
The Fatui?
Shh.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person...
Now that you mention it, that's very... I mean, it all fits together. Still, what sort of supernatural...
Forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millelith over there looks like...
Hear ye all! The Qixing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountain, gods and Adepti live glorious lives. But rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation? So that something feels off. Could the Qixing already have known that... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? it's Ningguang and...
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract.
3,700 years of contracts.
We, the people of Liyue...
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, will you stand with us as we
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really...
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see... Name your price.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
And to think I'd put my best perfume on before coming here, thinking you'd like it. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered to Rex Lap. Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say.
Rex... Perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best.
As for the mortals and Adepti of Liyue,
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions. And here you are looking...
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Xinyue kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Xinyue.
You're right. I do like the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rule. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to...
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also... The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the 1,000-armed, 100-eyed god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessed?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa!
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away will only strengthen her resolve. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as... All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Childe did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the... I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment. Browbeating. Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Childe's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wished? The time of the Adepti... Kuching is absolutely right in... Now, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know? Well then, I suppose...